Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, I'm going to be talking about some news coming out of the Ottawa Senators. Both Mark Stone and Cody Ceci have re-signed with Ottawa. Now there's only a few more arbitration cases left. It's William Karlsson, I think another player. There's not much left now for the signings and the RFAs in this upcoming season, or this season. So Mark Stone and Cody Ceci were some of the last guys, and both of them have signed pretty big contracts. Now, not really in the length, but when we look at the cap and the average annual value, you start to see a lot of money. The Ottawa Senators signed both Mark Stone and Cody Ceci today, two guys that were taking a long time to sign. Of course, Mark Stone, I think he had his arbitration like a couple of days ago, and he finally signed this morning, and it felt like it was taking forever for Ottawa to get something done, and they finally do it. They finally signed both of those guys, surprisingly. Now, Mark Stone of the Ottawa Senators signs for 1 year at $7.35 million on the dot, while Cody Ceci signs for 1 year at $4.30 average annual value, $4.30 million. So 1 year for both guys, and still decent money there. Now we're going to start with Mark Stone here, and at age 26, he's the right winger for the Ottawa Senators, and arguably one of their best forwards right now, if not their best forward. Again, he signed for 1 year at $7.35 million. In the 17-18 season, he played 58 games and 20 goals, 42 assists for 62 points. He had a 52.0% corner for percentage, and was really arguably Ottawa's best player when he was healthy. When he was healthy, he was lighting up the score sheet, being above a point per game, and really was fantastic offensively. It was a shame that he was injured again. He hasn't had the healthiest career in the world, especially early in his career. He didn't get the most amount of games played. He's never really played a full season. The most he's ever played in a season is 80 games. So again, the health concern is still there with Mark Stone, even though he has yet to prove himself as a healthy player. Now, while he hasn't had a healthy career so far, he's definitely had a successful career so far. And in 307 games, he's had 95 goals, 154 assists for 249 points, a 53.1% corner for percentage in his career. And he's been a dynamite guy on that first line for Ottawa for quite a while. The offense has certainly been there throughout his whole career so far. And while it has been a short one with the Ottawa Senators, it has been a fantastic one. In 300 games, he's shown great offensive talent, and he'll continue to put the numbers up wherever he goes. And the thing is with Mark Stone, even though the Ottawa Senators are not looking to be too great next season, then Mark Stone is one of the guys that will still be good, in my opinion. He'll still put up points, and he'll still be one of the best guys in the Ottawa Senators, if not the best guy, because honestly, there's not as much support for him right now. And of course, the 1 year deal definitely sparks a lot of interest. At $7.35, I think he's definitely worth that. I think he's honestly worth $7 to $8 million for the money, for the just points that he's put up, for the offensive talent that he's put up, and being a decent defensive player as well. He definitely deserves that money, and the length is definitely interesting. Will he be traded at the deadline? It's probably looking like that, as he's looking to be very good trade bait for any team. I mean, only 1 year, it's not that big of a risk, and Ottawa obviously has not had the greatest trade history in the last couple of years. I definitely go for that, and as a Dallas Stars fan, I'd love to see them going after him in the trade deadline if they are a contender there. And for Mark Stone, that 1 year deal definitely signifies that he doesn't want to stay long-term with Ottawa. I don't think anybody really does. And for me, he's a big candidate to be traded at the deadline, big candidate to be traded midway through the season, just because he's such a great player on 1 year deal. It's really not too much risk there besides the health concerns. For me, he's a fantastic player, and that 1 year deal signifies that he's most likely getting traded at the trade deadline. And for me, they're probably going to get traded. I think at least Stone has a bigger chance. I think Ceci wants to kind of stay with Ottawa, but I feel like Stone is really having the best situation here for what he was put in for the arbitration. It kind of sucks for him, but at the same time, at the end of the day, he probably will get traded to a much better team, which obviously is good for him. Now on to the Cody Ceci side of things. At age 24, the defenseman for the Ottawa Senators, he logged the second most ice time on the team last season, and for better or worse, was on the ice for most of it. In the 17-18 season, he played 82 games, had 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points, had a pretty terrible 43.8% corner for percentage. In his career, he's played 366 games, had 25 goals, 67 assists for 92 points, and a 46.1% corner for percentage, which is bad. But again, I feel like he's just that type of defenseman. Your deal at $4.30 million per year. So again, I think that he's a much more a similar case to Mark Stone, but at the same time, it could go a lot of different ways. For me, we've heard reports of Ceci wanting to stay with Ottawa through that rebuild, wanting to stay with the city of Ottawa. I'm pretty sure he's from Ottawa or something like that. He wants to stay with Ottawa for the rebuild, and he likes the team, and he likes the atmosphere somehow. Somehow, Cody Ceci likes that, which is very interesting. But for me, I feel like he's in a much different situation than Mark Stone, to where I think the Ottawa Senators like him. I feel like Cody Ceci likes the Ottawa Senators, and I feel like somehow, some way, they like each other, and I think they want to stick together. It's kind of like that weird one couple that you never expected to get together, but somehow works. Now, to me, I used to really like Cody Ceci. I thought he had good potential as a young guy, and I feel like he had good, solid NHL potential. And at age 24, he's pretty much smack dab in his prime. This is what he is. A bad Corsi for percentage guy, a bad advanced stats guy, and one of the worst in the NHL, and just atrocious, both offensively and I think defensively. In my eyes, he's terrible. I feel like at the most he's a top 6 type guy, but at 1 year you're only getting him in 1 year for $4 million, which is bad, but at least it's only 1 year. You're not getting him for too much term. And for me, in my opinion, Cody Ceci in the last couple of years has just put a 180 on the whole spectrum. I used to really do like his potential, but now I know what he is, and we know that he's not that great of a defenseman. We know that he definitely is a part of the Ottawa Senators' kind of downfall here. And while I used to like Cody Ceci, the advanced stats haven't shown he's a good defenseman. The regular stats haven't shown he's a good defenseman. And everything about the guy, everything about his stats, everything about the way he plays, he's just shown himself to be a defenseman, and I think that's what he's going to be. So while he was asking for $6 million, which was just hilarious, $4 million for 1 year is okay. I mean, it's only for 1 year. For the Ottawa Senators, they have cap to burn, and honestly, they could just pay him $6 million, and I think it wouldn't even affect them too much just because they need to get to that cap floor because they're trading so many other guys. So I think that honestly, it's really a win-win situation for both Ottawa and Ceci. It doesn't really affect Ottawa too much. They already had him, and I feel like, honestly, it's just that type of defenseman that Ceci, I think, will always be that meh, top 6 guy. And to me, no harm done to the Ottawa Senators. They already had him. They are already playing him. And honestly, going to the cap floor is not the worst idea ever. And if there was any team that could pay more than they should for Cody Ceci, I think it would be the Ottawa Senators. So I don't think it's a huge deal here. And let's be honest here, it's not Tom Wilson contract bad, so I think it will be fine for the Ottawa Senators. It's only 1 year. It's a pretty non-risky contract, and for them, while he's not the greatest defenseman in the world, probably one of the worst in the NHL, it's not that bad, and honestly, the Ottawa Senators are probably looking to tank next year, and Cody Ceci being on the team will definitely help that. And now there's only one more arbitration case going forward on August 4th, which is tomorrow. You got William Karlsson, which will definitely be a very interesting case to see whether Karlsson gets his side of things, where Vegas will get their side of things, and what ends up going in the middle with the arbitration cases. And he's the last one, and the last one will be a William Karlsson, which is pretty interesting to see how that goes. With the Ottawa Senators, it's not the greatest situation. Both Cody Ceci and Mark Stone being put in the arbitration cases is not the greatest, and them going for arbitration is not going to be great for the morale, as the team is already suffering from that. So, to me, it's already fuel to the fire, which is already pretty big. And where do I see Mark Stone in here? Definitely as a UFA and definitely being traded somewhere else. And for Cody Ceci, I think he likes it there. I think the Ottawa Senators like him, so I think he'll be the one that stays. But again, I got home a little bit late, that's why I couldn't get the video out earlier, and I had another video planned, but I just got home so late that I thought, hey, I'll just talk about the Mark Stone and Cody Ceci contracts. So again, a longer video will be due tomorrow. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe. Tell me down below, what do you think of these contracts? What do you think of the Mark Stone contract? What do you think of the Cody Ceci contract and how they affect the Ottawa Senators? And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.